dun, 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 dun. Oh, sorry. It's just one of those songs you can't get out of your head. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, Lordy. It's Sunday. It's Sunday, Giant. Can we even call ourselves Giants? Can we call ourselves like the Little Giants? We got OG Knockout already in the His House going. Good morning, Tim. We already have. What's going on, guys? Good morning to you. We always Big Blue Forever saying it might be Dable's last stand. There could potentially be things. Mike Lee says, good morning, fellow Colt members. Smash the like button on the way in. Definitely do that. So we're going into Washington. Well, not really going into Washington, but we're going to go play the Washington Commanders. Good morning, Chris. Good morning to you. We're going in, of course, to play the Commanders. The Giants, of course, if we want to say have missed expectations, I think that's I think that's going to be a nice way to put it. I think if we want to look at the fact that they have fallen off expectations, then that's another. I guess that's another nice way to put it. But I love it because you talk about I was reading stories the other day. The 2-8 Giants, they're not talking about tanking. They don't want to hear the tank talk. You got Tommy DeVito at quarterback. You're going into Washington. You have 2 wins this season. You're going up a Commanders team that traded away a bunch of guys. You have 2 winnable, they're not even winnable games, but you have 2 games that you have a chance to win in Washington and the Commandos. I mean, the Washington Commandos and the New England Patriots. These are your 2 games. These are your 2 games that you could sneak. I think you could sneak a win. You could grab a win. You could steal a win. And I don't think it's going to happen. Guilty says garbage Giants. I mean, I don't think it's going to happen. I mean, I think you can't. I mean, I think Sam Howell has starting to turn the corner as being the quarterback or at least a above average NFL quarterback. You almost think he looks like what you thought Daniel Jones might be. And I love the hostage video played by poor Eli Manning. In reference to Daniel Jones and how he could be the quarterback of the future. And I love it because I just laugh because someone posted online, Eli, if you need help, blink twice. We will send help. And that's really what it was. That's exactly what it was. We got Mr. Belford in him to have
Johnny Wishbone, psychic extraordinaire. If you need me, just think Johnny Wishbone, and I come right.
Johnny Wishbone, of course, is in the house. But the Eli Manning video is just another example of Giant paranoia. And I think it comes from the Maras, and I think it comes from the Tishes, and I think it comes from the media staff. But it's one of those things that it's paranoia that they are worried that they're going to lose the fan base. My problem is this. You continue to do this, you are going to lose the fan base either way because of the fact that you have too many people right now who are already looking to the future, looking beyond your quarterback, and there is potential that you don't want to go beyond your quarterback, that you don't want to get rid of Daniel Jones because you owe him $68 million. You know what? I have the Eli Manning clip right here. Let's play the Eli Manning clip. And if you look at it, it does look like a hostage video. Eli, blink twice if you need us to send help.
Last year, they made a decision. They saw Daniel Jones. They were around him. They had him for a year, and they trusted that, hey, this is a kid that has a bunch of upside. He's still, in the first year of the offense, played extremely well. He can run. He's tough. He can make the throws. Just unfortunately, this was a tough year, with injuries, with
he's always had injuries, Eli.
But this the way it went. And so I think you still got to trust your quarterback. He's going to come back. He's going to be healthy.
He'll be that 70-yard throw that he just kind of flicked it last night. Yeah, I'll take that.
He's really, really well. And I think they, got to trust him, can put some guys.
You're going to trust him because it'll be year 6.
Get help around him and continue to grow with these teams. I think when you sign, your key guys to contracts, Saquon,
You didn't sign Saquon to a contract. You tagged him.
For Lawrence, Daniel, sign a Waller. Like, you put these guys, you
didn't sign Waller to a contract. You traded for him.
got to add in guys around them and fit it. You don't just say, hey, switch it up right away because you have one.
It's been 5 years, Eli. It's been 5 years. Let me count it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Next year will be 6. You want to know what's funny? I only have one hand with 5 fingers. I would have to go the second hand just to count how many years it would be with Daniel Jones. I'm done. I love you, Eli. I love you. You are a giant legend. You are a giant hero. You are the pinnacle of success for the New York Giants outside of players like Phil Simms and Lawrence Taylor and Carl Banks and Harry Carson. You are that pinnacle. But you can't make a hostage video in reference to Daniel Jones on a 2-8 team when he's had one healthy season out of 5. And his one healthy season was an average season at best. Mark Thompson all the way in for Barbados going, what's up, Tim? Good morning to Mark. Pimp name Slickback says, do the Giants realize they're in danger of losing the next generation of fans? If Maris hypothetically forces Jones to come back, you have tons of kids who are just going to say, I'm done with this team. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. You are going into a Commanders game where in some ways, I always love it. It's a must-win game. Because of the fact that you have to show something to this fan base. As a season ticket holder, I will tell you this. It is not, I am not filled with joy and filled with aspirations in regards to going to any more games. Sorry. I got to truck my ass all the way up there to watch this. No. There's not a product on the field that you want to see. Antonio Gibson is doubtful for today, so that's actually good for the Giants. And their what's his name? I think one of their other running back is out too on the Commander side. Zach Attack, could you send me the injury report? Could you put the injury report up there? Zach Attack says Tommy touchdowns will lead us to Caleb Williams or Drake May. I like Drake May. 6'5", 200-something pounds. 2 seasons as a starter. He just doesn't have that cachet. He doesn't have that New York state of mind. There's a cachet about it, about being the quarterback in New York. Eli was a different quarterback. Eli was this guy that was just kind of, he was just kind of there, It was cool Eli. The world could be falling around him and Eli just looked like this. Eli could win a Super Bowl. It looks like this. And that's kind of what we need. And I'm not saying Drake May cannot be that. I'm not saying Michael Penix can't be it. But there's just certain swagger about having the first overall pick and getting that quarterback. It makes you popular. It makes you successful. Not only because it's not always about winning on the field. It's also winning to the war of attrition in reference to the fan base. OG says, after what you saw from college football yesterday, who do you like as a quarterback? I still like Williams. I still like May. And I still like Penix. Just because Williams lost to UCLA, he doesn't play defense. He threw for over 380-something yards. The USC defense gave up 100 and something, like 150 yards to a guy that had 500 yards all season. You gave him you gave him a quarter of his rushing total in one game against USC. USC just has a bad defense. I mean, bad. Guilty says we are bad naturally. That's why we don't have to tank. Pimp Dang Slickback says, why is it Bob Pop and Carl Banks on Twitter arguing with fans all day defending Mara? I live in DC area, and this is the same stuff Dan Schneider defenders used to do. Because they work for the station. Because they work for the Giants, because they're in the building. That's what they're going to do. Do you think you actually get the truth from Papa and Carl Banks? I mean, do you actually think you get that? Carl, what do you think? No, I have to tell you what they say because they pay me. I mean, that's the thing. They pay them. They pay them to be in the building. I've said this before. Carl Banks has these epiphanies. And he has these epiphanies in the middle of the game, and he says the truth. And then he walks it back in post game. I gotta find one. There's my mouth. Oh, I got a new microphone. Just haven't set it up yet. He walks all the shit back. Bob Papa is just the ultimate homer. But Bob Papa gets paid by the Giants. Listen, you know what? I don't get paid by the Giants. I get paid by places like Black Rifle Coffee and Mint Mobile. But if you want to pay me, if the Giants want to call me up and pay me, I'll say whatever you want. I'll be Eli Manning. I think Daniel Jones is a good quarterback. Or wait.
I think Daniel Jones is a good quarterback. We should keep him in the building. There is nothing else that you can say about that. He is awesome. Please send help.
That's the Eli Manning hostage video. You want to pay me? I'll say anything you want. Hung Dave says, I'm pretty sure Dable is definitely tanking. Reasons that he's been playing Tommy D, which is a good way to say we are tanking without actually saying it. How do you not put in Matt Barkley? And I love it because people are like, well, we have to see what we have in Tommy DeVito. We have to see what we have in Daniel Jones. Tommy DeVito is a quarterback who couldn't cut it at Syracuse, at average stats in Illinois, was an undrafted free agent, played well against the third scrub teamers, and now you put him in against actual competition, and it doesn't look good. Matt Barkley is at least a professional quarterback. And I know he hasn't started the games, plethora of games, I think it was since 2019. I think that was in Chicago, and he was never that great, but at least he's a professional quarterback. At least he may give you the opportunity to recognize a play. But the problem is this, Hung Dave, you're right. He might wreck shit. Same with Saquon Barkley. He might wreck shit. We're sitting number 2 overall right now. We have a chance. There's a gleam, men. There's a gleam. We have a chance to get that first overall pick. We really do. So I think Justin Fields is going to come back and wreck some shit for Chicago. Mike Lee said, let's see here. Perhaps Green Beret or Tyrod. I don't know what's going on with Tyrod. Tyrod's got the rib injury, so he's not going to. Salute to James. James, I sent you a link. I don't know where you are. I was going to text you, but I sent you a link. Check your phone. Hit that like button, says James. You hopping on? Blackbird says, I'm on my way to the game. What's up, Tim? Well, Blackbird, I give you all the credit in the world. I give you all the credit in the world, Mr. Blackbird. Because like I said, I have to go to the New England game. I have to go because I'm meeting people there, and I promised I would meet people there. So, and I'm going with Mrs. OBB, so I have to go to that game. No ifs, ands, or buts. But if I didn't have to go to that game, do you really think the weekend of Thanksgiving I would really want to go to MetLife to potentially watch the 2-9 Giants? Because you know Mac Jones is going to come in and wreck shit. You know Mac Jones is. Todd says Eli Manning is a people pleaser. He says anything for Mara asks him to do. I don't know if that's actually 100% truth, because the fact that if you watch you go back and watch that Tom Coughlin press conference, Eli Manning's lips quivering. Tom was his guy. I mean, I know he works for the Giants now, but it's just kind of scary. If we don't draft a quarterback, I'm done. If we don't draft a quarterback, my old buddy James Williams and I, well, then we slowly be working on that great new podcast, New York Knicks 3-D. The 2023 New York Knicks season will be available on Monday for that first episode. I'm also going to post it here on the page. So make sure you stay in it, as the Knicks had a big win yesterday, 2 big wins in a row. Got the game on Monday as well. So if that happens, that's what we will be doing. Chris says, if we run this back with Jones again, I quit. I will quit and become a Jets fan or a Bills fan. You better become a Bills fan. What the hell you want to be a Jet fan for? You better be a Bills fan. Hey, James, I'm going to I don't have my phone. I'm going to put the thing in the link. Where is it? Hold on. Invite. Okay. What did I do there? I don't know what I did there. Invite. Okay. Copy. Link. So, James, I'm putting the link in the chat. Evidently, you don't check your phone. Football on your phone. Your phone ain't for calling. Your phone's for footballing, which we don't do. What's up, Jersey Beaners? Up, Tim? Maybe we get a large Pepsi this time, buddy. No, we're not getting anything. We're getting the same dirty ass product we get since 2011. Year 6 for Daniel Jones. Oh God. You literally just gave me heartburn. You literally just gave me heartburn. Year 6. Think about that, guys. I said it before. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Or 5. Hold on, wait. I forgot. 6. Over half a decade with a quarterback who hasn't even averaged 3,000 yards a season. Has thrown for 20 touchdowns once his rookie year, 5 years ago. But Eli sees things in him. Eli, like I said, Eli, if you are being held hostage, let us know. We will send help.
I am not being held hostage. Everything I say is not AI generated. Not whatsoever. Bars needs women.
Oh, Eli. Hope Fields balls out today. So do I. I like Justin Fields. KT is in. Kadarius, what's his name? Kadarius Toney. Kayvon Thibodeau is in. Yeah, let's see. Hyatt is in. Dory's out. Okay. All right. So is Antonio Gibson, Zach, still doubtful? I know he was doubtful yesterday. Go Panthers. We're all Panther fans now. Welcome to Panther Nation. Rah! Oh, this is going to be my first Giant game. Blackbird, I am sorry. I'm going to apologize for the New York Giants in advance to you. I apologize that this is going to be your first Giant game. It is with a humble heart that I'm saying this because I know you don't deserve this. And I sincerely apologize. And just for you, we're going to draft Caleb Williams. Joe Rev loves the silent voice.
By your command.
I love the silent voice too. I found more buttons on the soundboard. There's a lot of them here. I don't know what this one does. Should we push one? What does this one do right here? Hold on. Let's see what this one does.
Let's see what this one does.
That's a good one. What about this one?
What about this one? Oh, I like this one. I'm John Mara. You will have Eli Manning say what I wish.
I like that one.
I like that. Oh, I like this one too.
I like this one too. wait a minute, guys. I found the Carl Banks voice.
Don't worry, guys. Eli will be great.
Sorry, Carl. Oh my God. I just entertained myself. Mike Lee says, can't have a fourth quarterback to do as good as better than DJ. That's why there's no Barkley. What is Roger saying? May busted again, and the key game was not good. Great D's, slow throwing motion, nearly always one read stare down. If Caleb goes number one, the it factor is winner. No equals no Bo Nix. No Bo Nix. I mean, Drake May, like I said, you are gonna have bad. You're gonna have bad games. I mean, per a good example, you have a quarterback how long did it take him to throw for over 300 yards? Or I should say, how long did it take him to throw for over 200 yards? Drake May was 16 for 36 for 209, one touchdown, one interception. But you also have to look at the fact that his totals on the entire season right now are 22 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, 3,356. You know one thing I don't like about Drake May? I'm going to say it right up here. You know what the one thing I do not like about Drake May is? He reminds me of Eli Manning. He reminds me of Daniel Jones. That is one thing I do not like about Drake May. 6'5", big kid. I get this Daniel Jones vibe. And I said the same thing about Josh Rosen. I said Josh Rosen, you know, there was something about Josh Rosen, not that I thought he was Daniel Jones. There's something about Josh Rosen when he did his interviews and everything else. I just got this bad vibe about him. And I just kind of get that about Drake May. I mean, the Giants going to take him, they're going to take him. You know what? You have to support him because we supported Eli, Daniel Jones's garbage for 6 years. To Protect says, I think Eli just wants Jones to succeed. The writing is on the wall, though. I agree. Zach Attack says Chicago and Carolina pick would currently seeing us at number 1. We have to worry about the Panthers and the young needs to improve. Oh, I agree. Oh, the Crunch Bunch. Got the Crunch Bunch poster right there. The autographed Crunch Bunch poster is behind me. Bears having the Panthers picks gives me no hope that G-Men getting first overall. The Bears aren't taking a quarterback. I'm going to tell you this. If Justin Fields threw for 7 touchdowns in 2 games before he got hurt. There is something there with Justin Fields. They're not taking a quarterback. They're not. I'm going to tell you that right now. Write it down. Mark it down. I'm telling you that. OG says, I quit if Daniel Jones is still there. Chris says, okay, Bills, that's not crazy. Yeah, you went crazy about the Jets. Like it was said in Jerry Maguire, you had me at hello. But for you to say you would become a Jet fan, that just ain't right. Let's see here. Zach says, don't forget hit the like button, people. Come on. There's a button called the like button. It looks like a little thumbs up. You had 70 people in the room at one point, and we got 26 likes. Oh, because evidently I didn't refresh my screen because I'm a moron. Oh my God. How can, if the Giants lose today, let's just take that for a second. If the Giants lose today and you're 2-9 going in against the Belichick and you potentially could lose that game, what are you supposed to do?
What the hell is supposed to do, you moron?
Great question. You draft a quarterback. Blackbird said, Hyatt gets open every week. We just don't have a quarterback that can get him the ball. We didn't have a quarterback to get him the ball, even when we had allegedly a quarterback. Apology accepted. Next, hey, listen, next time, Blackbird, if you're ever in the New York area and there's a game you want to go to, hit me up on the chat or whatever, because I feel bad for you. I'll take you. You can hang out with me. You can hang out with me. Not like that's any better. But at least I'll make you laugh. We need to get rid of DJ, need a fresh. We do. No quarterback is going to play on the pressure. Let's see. Caleb Williams or Jaden Daniels. I like I said, Jaden Daniels, they're just, and like I said, and again, he is that fast riser. He's that comet that we see every college season. I'm not even going to say a guy that comes out of nowhere because he's played since he's played since 2019. He's not, and I always love it because everyone's like, oh, these young kids. He's not a young kid. He's in his 20s. He's got 3,500 yards, 36 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, plethora of rushing yards. He looked good in 2020. He was 17 touchdowns at 3. He's really exploded. He is not a one-time starter. He is not a He's not a Dwayne Haskins. He's not an Akili Smith. He's not a guy that had one fabulous. Well, he's a guy that had one fabulous year, but he's not a guy that is unfamiliar with starting. He's got a resume. I just worry about a guy that turns it on his last year. And like I said, he has been in college football as long as Daniel Jones has been with the Giants. Think about that. And then we didn't want to draft Hendon Hooker last year because of the knee and his age. He's not much younger. It's really going to depend. We need a dynamic quarterback, not Daniel Jones 2.0. Trading Leo, that's when the defense stopped playing. The defense wasn't playing well when we had Leonard Williams. And I'm not trying to be mean about that, but I mean, if we go back, we gave up, it's funny. We gave up 40 to Cowboys. We gave up 28 in the win to the Cardinals. We gave up 30 to the 49ers. We gave up 24 to the Seahawks, and they could have scored more. We gave up 31 to the Dolphins. We only gave up 4. They only started playing well for a couple of weeks, and that was against the Bills, which was a miracle game, against the Commanders, who Sam Howell just turned off to the last moment, and then the Jets, who with that rain-soaked game. And then we gave up 30 to the Raiders and 49 to the thing. So, but going back to even before, we gave multiple games over 24 points. We gave up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We give up 6 games of over 25 points with Leonard Williams. So no, sorry, I can't give you that. Mike Glenn in his house. What's up? DJ last year when he threw like 6 interceptions against Wake Forest was his last year at Duke. I know. Let's see. James was, our fans want to keep Jones, but the Bears are dumping Fields. Yeah, I never understood that one either, James. The Giants are going to win today. Why? You know, Blackbird, I just invited you to a game, and then you're gonna do me dirty like that. No, they're going to lose. I don't want to win. I don't want to tank, but I don't want to win. You could almost win. You could play well. You could almost win, but in that last second, you lose. You save face by almost winning, but you lose at the end. Everyone's happy. We can say we improved. We looked better. We just didn't have it that day. And we still stay on track to the first overall pick. Last time I checked, quarterbacks and coaches get all the blame when they win and all the blame when they lose. What's the difference for Daniel's crimes? There's no difference. We've said it all the time. Quarterbacks outside the head coach are the only people that have win-loss record. And that's true. Quarterbacks get all the praise when they win. They get all the blame when they lose. But in some regards, it's justified that Daniel Jones gets all the blame. Let's be honest. John says, presuming they don't get the first picks, Penix is the guy, strong left. He's had 2 ACLs. But that strong left to cut through the wind would be almost impossible for the other teams to prepare for. I'm going to tell you something about this. I am an old school Giant fan. Old school, 78. 76, actually. 76, baby. First year the Meadowlands opened. And there was always the rumors in the 80s that when the opposing player would kick into the wind, they would open the other doors on the stadium to create the crosswind. There's always that rumor of Jimmy Hoffa buried in the end zone. I'm going to tell you this. The wind is not like it was. The wind is no longer a factor. I remember in 86, the Washington playoff game, that swirling wind that you actually watched the toilet paper. I was at that game. Swirl on the field. And when they threw stuff down when we win, because we were going to the Super Bowl, and it looks like confetti, it didn't even hit the ground. It did one of these. You would throw it and it'd do this. And it would go all over. So, but the wind is no longer a factor. He is ratcheting up for what he did against the Gators. I agree with you, Tim, on quarterbacks. Thank you, OG. I appreciate that. Let's see here. To Protect says LSU is going to be playing Georgia yesterday. I think he's good, but I don't know if he's the guy. He is fast as Asaf, though. He could be the guy. I don't know. Watch Daniel last night reminds me of Lamar Jackson. Let's see. Zacateg says, I always want to say Kadarius Toney. Can't Kayvon Thibodeau line up to the outside? He is a good 4 offensive games. He's acting like a clowny elite. The problem with this, I still think that he needs to line up with his hand in the dirt. He needs to be he technically, in my mind, needs to be a 4-3 defensive end. Because he needs that protection in the interior of the field that will allow him to have one-on-one matchups with whoever the left or the right tackle is, and potentially the tight end or the running back. And he needs outside help in reference to hold on and to maintain containment. I know Carl Banks would like to say, go watch the what does Carl Banks say?
Go watch the tape.
That's what Carl Banks always says. He never points anything out, but he just tells you to go watch the tape. But that's what he needs to do. I think that's where he's going to find his flavor. I think he for a couple weeks figured out, and James and I talked about this even at the game, that he needed to cut his rush to the inside. The tackles were pushing him out to the sideline for an extended period of time those first couple weeks. And the games that he actually got some meaningful sacks, he actually cut his rush to the outside. Now, I will give him 100% credit. The one sack against Zach Wilson at the end, that was a hustle play. That was a hustle sack. That was a coverage sack, and that was a hustle sack. But a lot of the other sacks that he had, like if you go back to you go back to Seattle game, he had one sack like on the first series, and he had a sack at the last series when we were already down by 25, and then they had the backup quarterback in. So what happened to the other 43 plays? You had one good play on the 40 on the first play, and then you had one good play on the 44th play. What happened to the one? What happened to the other 43 plays in between? J-Fed says, I'm almost trade down, get a haul. Additional first. Giants need depth. There aren't one quarterback away. They're not one quarterback away, but having a good quarterback helps cure a lot of ill wills. You take a look at Joe Burrows. Joe Burrows came in, got wrecked his rookie season, came back, and then led his team to the Super Bowl. You know, Justin Herbert, when he went to the Chargers, he didn't have an offensive line his first couple of years. He was probably he actually performed better under pressure statistically by a lot than he did when he had a clean pocket. You know, they're you know, you look at what what's his name, look at what Stroud's doing. Look how he's playing. Do the Texans have all these people? No, they don't. Eli Manning, we talked about it before. Eli Manning, his rookie year in 2004. Kurt Warner took a plethora of sacks. Bad offensive line for the Giants. And also Warner held on to the ball too long. Bad offensive line. He turns around. They put Eli Manning in. Eli Manning cuts the sack total in half. Was Eli Manning, did the offensive line all of a sudden get better with Eli Manning, or did Eli Manning just get rid of the ball faster? The Giants have had terrible offensive lines for years during Eli Manning's career, but you look at his sack totals. Because of the fact that he understood what his line was, he felt the pocket presence, and he understood he had to get rid of the ball fast. Drop it in the big old super chat from Eric. And what does Eric say? Eric says, draft a quarterback in the first round, and DJ, who will go out next year and have an incredible camp. It's another season of not knowing about DJ. He's not coming back until probably November. I don't even know if he's had the surgery. Has he had the surgery yet? That's my biggest question. Has he? I don't think he's even had the Zach attack. Has he had the surgery yet? Eli. Has Daniel Jones had the surgery yet? My worry is this: you draft a rookie, you don't draft a quarterback. You go through this fiasco. Daniel Jones comes back for like the last 4 games of the season, plays well, and then we have year 7. Then we have year 7. I can't do it, man. I can't do it. I can't do it. Greg says, you know what? I think about Caleb. He plays an imperfect team. The Trojans defense is atrocious. So is the other line. He improvises and makes shit happen. That honestly, that sums up Caleb Williams. I was at the start of the season, this college season, I was not a Caleb Williams fan. I will tell you that I was not in Camp Caleb. But then I've kind of watched the adversity that he has gone through with his defense, with his offensive line, and how he's played. And I love it because someone on Twitter, yes, I know I went on Twitter, the cesspool of everything. I went on Twitter and someone's like, well, if Caleb Williams can't make his team better around him, how is he supposed to do that for the Giants? How much worse do you think they might be if Caleb Williams didn't complete 68% of his passes, 3,600 yards, 30 touchdowns, and 5 interceptions? How much worse would USC be if they didn't have Caleb Williams? That's the question. Think about that for just 1 second. How bad would they be? And I think a lot of people don't think about that. They just think about the fact that he's not doing what he's supposed to do. He's not pushing the Trojans to where they need to be. The Trojans would be 10 times worse. But we don't want to think about that. Johnny Rico, the D looks like they try hard in the first quarter, then quit after the whole line looks terrible. They do. The D looks like they give up a little bit. I don't think they quit. I think they kind of give up. This is going to be also a big game for Dable after the breakdown on the sideline for the New York Giants last week between Sterling Shepard and Darius Slayton, between Saquon Barkley, kind of getting an animate conversation with Brian Dable to the whole Wink thing, and then Wink just kind of ignoring it. No, nothing happened. No, it's all good. And I love because one reporter, and he talks about the Wink situation. He goes, "What situation with Wink?" And he was like, "Well, you got a guy calling the game, said it looked really weird and kind of different. He's done it thousands of times, and he sees all these NFL sidelines, every week, and he says it looks different. No different. Just and I love because he's like, nope, no different. Normal stuff. Sterling Shepard and Saquon Barkley are yelling. Sterling Shepard and Darius Slayton are yelling at each other on the sideline to the point that Darius Slayton just kind of walks away and kind of gives up. Leave me alone. You have to go over and talk to them. What was that all about? No different. Just the way it is. Saquon Barkley looks extremely animated with you in that conversation on the sideline, Coach. That looked a little strange, but what was it? No. Normal everyday stuff. It only works. Daves, I love you. I'm going to tell you this. That shit only works when you win. You don't win. Said this before. You go back to Bull Durham. Nucleus has fungus on his shower shoes. Crash tells him, you look classy, you be classy, you are classy. And he goes, you win 20 games in the show, you can grow the fungus back on your shower shoes, but until then, that just makes you a slob. We're just going to leave it at that. The Giants will tie the commies because it's the Giants. Yeah, you're right. They probably do. Do you think Wink gets fired? If the Wink defense keeps going up with the way they are, you got to fire Wink. Here is the Giants' modus operandus. First, you fire the coordinators. Then the next year, 2025 or 2024, you fire the general manager. No, I'm sorry. You fire the head coach. And in 2026, you fire the general manager and then you restart again. We've already done this a couple times. I'm tired of losing. Me too. It's not even funny. We've already done this a couple times. Let's see. We just don't have the players to run Wink's defense. The problem is Winks does not want to adjust. That is the biggest problem. Wink does not have the personnel to do what he wants to. Wink does not have the corners. Wink does not have, especially with the Doria, Wink does not have that all-pro safety. All right, guys, listen. I gotta put everyone on hold a second. I got a phone call in that I gotta take. So hold. Guys, I gotta sign off. We're having a little bit of a family emergency, so let me take care of what I need to take care of. We'll probably have some kind of video tonight or tomorrow. Like I said, we're having we just need to take care of a family issue right now. So I appreciate everyone hanging in and hanging out. We'll talk to you. We'll talk to you in a little bit. All right, thanks.